Hey everybody. So I just wanted to make a video about the connections I see between Lovecraft Country and this new Jeffrey Dahmer monster movie or series or whatever it is. I haven't seen it yet. But if you watched Lovecraft Country, you know that they really explored the theme of like bloodlines and the occult practices of certain bloodlines and ritual sacrifice and maintaining certain traditions of these bloodlines. And, ritual sacrifice and, like I said, just occult practices. Like, if you understand that, then you'll better understand this Jeffrey Dahmer movie. And what a lot of people don't know is that his killing, that's exactly what he was doing. Those were ritual sacrifices. And I know this, and other people may know it as well. I don't know how many people ever really made it their business to research Jeffrey Dahmer. When I was in college, I studied him and also did my own research on him. And when I was in college, what I learned was that what he was doing was these weird ritual sacrifices because he was trying to conjure a God that he believed was like the God of his people, and trying to raise this himself up as the living embodiment of this God. So he needed these black men to be his sacrifices to this God or this deity, and the sacrifices, like I said, were his way of, like I said, doing rituals to embody this whatever spirit. And a lot of people, that caught me by surprise, because again, you in order to wrap your mind around how absolutely horrible this man's crimes were and people like him, it's really hard to wrap your mind around it. It's really difficult to wrap your mind around it, which is why I was really glad that Lovecraft Country came out to give people a better understanding of how certain things work, because certain things just aren't random. And that's what I'm really trying to get at with this whole Jeffrey Dahmer thing. He was a maniac. Don't get me wrong. He was a maniac and he was sick, but there was a method to his madness. And he had a rhyme and a reason to everything, and an intention to everything that he was doing. And this is, like I said, connected to his beliefs, connected to his racial and spiritual beliefs. And this is why a lot of people don't understand, or for maybe some younger people, they might watch this and be in shock, why didn't the cops do anything? And if you watch Lovecraft Country, you will understand why. And this is the reason why, so many of us, and not just black, but so many of us, black, white, people of color, everybody in between, why there are so many of us wanting the police to be defunded, or wanting action against the police, or wanting the amount of power that they have to be taken from them. And this is a perfect reason why that is. People really need to understand that this is the reason why that is. For the people that, like I said, and people want to argue back and forth, well, not all cops. Nobody is saying all cops. Nobody is saying all white people. But this is a perfect reason of why we do say these things. Because this man had dead bodies in his apartment, and when he was living with his parents in their home, this is why people were calling the police, and the police weren't doing anything. why it seemed like the cops were just so willfully ignorant. He probably lived in an area where, this was some kind of, like I said, some weird cult. And then to understand that, you start to understand why you have like these pockets of these men in different places, and why you have such high rates of like women and children going missing. And this is another reason why, Black women then get in their feelings, because we see what's going on. Like I said, though, it was Black women that saw what was going on and were literally trying to get this man arrested. And some of them were actually trying to help some of the men that he was like holding hostage. But again, they didn't realize everything that he was doing to these men. Like, in order to try to keep them quiet and docile after he had kidnapped them, he would like drill holes in their head and inject things into their brain so that they would be less likely to run away, keep them confused. And some of them would still get away. Some of these men would still get away, and there would be women who were seeing this and trying to call the cops, and nothing was happening. So the level of trauma of knowing that this man is doing these horrible things that these women can't even face, like they can't even wrap their minds around it, and trying to get the police involved, and like the fact that this broke open and he finally was arrested. And the crazy part was that when he was arrested, he literally fought the cops and nothing happened to him. He got his due justice. He got prosecuted. He would not do justice, but he got his day in court. He got his trial. He lived to see a trial. So when Black people are saying or calling foul on the cops, like this is why. This is why. When Black people are calling foul on certain racial things, this is why. And it's just like compounded trauma. So again, this would be a really good time to rewatch Lovecraft Country, and like I said, do your research on Jeffrey Dahmer. And it's not easy to look into these things, but you have to look into them, and you have to face these monsters, because monsters aren't these scary things that you can't see. They're humans. They look like men like Jeffrey Dahmer. They look like these two men that you see right here in these two pictures. And a lot of people are still under the spell of whiteness, of like whiteness being like this great thing. And again, compounded trauma. Like, and now you have so many Black men online really trying to convince Black women that, we're these horrible people. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like it's a bad dream that we are all in, and it won't end, and we won't wake up until we are honest about what's happening, what's going on, what we're seeing, what we're experiencing, because these spells are being broken. People are actively, the trauma in the souls of some of the people that he preyed on were kids. And like I said, he might have thought he was conjuring something, and he conjured something, but it's not what he thought. And that energy is turning, like it's turning things around. But like I said, I am working on other content to kind of like dive into this a little bit further. But I just wanted to take the time to address this connection so that people can see, like, if you watch the Dahmer, and there's another movie about him, I think it's called My Friend Jeffrey or something weird like that. But for people to watch it for themselves and to research these things and to understand that these things aren't just happening for no reason. It's not just somebody, it's not just this like white man who was just, a maniac. He was a maniac, but like I said, he definitely knew what he was doing, had an intention, and you may not understand it, and because, you have to be insane like him to understand it. But know that that's what he was trying to do, and this was spiritual. And so I'm not a Christian, but I definitely resonate with that scripture of, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against, principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. So, like I said, I wanted to kind of address that. And it's like I said, this would be a good time with everybody buzzing about this new Dahmer movie to please check out Lovecraft Country and understand that this is why certain things happen. Or if you watch movies like Dr. Sleep, just other movies and series, like I said, that have been like popular over the past few years, and also in me advocating for the safety of women and children, specifically Black women and children. This is why. This is what these things are rooted in. So, watch both of them. And like I said, it's not easy. This is why people sometimes don't understand my sense of humor and how horribly dark my sense of humor is. But it has to be, because these things are dark. I have to, find some kind of, some type of humor in it to deal with it, so I can look at it and face it, which is what I really encourage people to do, specifically women, because we're the ones being left to live in this fantasy world that doesn't help anything and it doesn't help anybody. But like I said, I just wanted to make that quick connection and encourage you guys, if you care to, like I said, to do your own research into the spiritual practices of Jeffrey Dahmer and his spiritual beliefs, and also watch Lovecraft Country so you can connect those dots. That's it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks.